Okay, folks, today we're gonna review the last chapter, chapter 6, which is all about transition and animation. Just a heads up, every time that you see the word transition animation, of course, you know that you will have to go on the ribbon button and eventually navigate from here. And transition are applied in between slides, while animation are applied specifically within one slide. So let's get into it. And the first exercise is going to be apply a wipe transition from slide 5 to 7, set duration, and select an effect option. So first of all, when we need to apply a transition, we need to select the slide that we are going to apply transition to. And in this case, from 5 to 7, we can see on the left we have the list of all the slide. And in order to select them from 5 to 7, we're going to click on 7. We're going to hold Control, and we're going to click on the remaining slides. So right now we have selected them, and we need to apply transition. So of course we go on transition and we select the transition that we are required to insert. In this case, the Y transition. The transition, as you can see, has a duration, and you can set the duration from the duration button. Very straightforward. And another tweaks, another adjustment you can make to this transition, if you go on the effect option, you might be required to, is to select from which side the wipe transition effect are going to be applied from. In this case, it's from the right, but if you want from the top, like if like a curtain is getting shut down, we can select from top, and you can see the direction, the movement of the transition changes. Okay, so second one is going to be animate a text by paragraph on slide 4 and apply effect option. Okay, so what does it mean is, in this case, we have a text. We have this kind of like bullet point, and it's part of the same text box. What we want to do is select the whole text box. Go into animation. We have to animate it, so we're gonna insert first of all which kind of animation. So let's say fly in, and in this case you can see that it is not static anymore, but you have added this animation. But as you can see, this bullet point, since it's part of the same text box, you see basically the bullet points that are coming all at once. And what we want to do is basically reveal the bullet point one by one. So in order to do that, we apply the animation, and then we go on effect option, and on the sequence you can select one by one. So now you have the bullet point that come in a sequential order. After that, we're gonna animate a 3D model on slide 7 and select the duration. Okay, you should already know what a 3D model is coming from chapter 5, and the 3D model is this, like way more dynamic way just to to represent an image in a three-dimensional way where you can rotate it and play with it. But you can also apply an animation to it, and you will be required in the exam to eventually go in the animation panel and select which one is the appropriate, which is the appropriate one. So for example, jump and turn, swing. As you can see, there's even in this case the possibility to set a duration for it, and the request in this case you might be required to set a specific duration. You just need to play around with the duration button here on the top right. But that was pretty straightforward. And then exercise for motion path animation. So on slide 3, but actually, I mean, the motion path is something that you can add to whatever image object, like this airplane, aircraft uh, icon that we have here, shape. We can add an animation like a motion path. In order to add a motion path, you need to go on animation as always. On top of like the animation style selection, you will open this window, and as you can see, we have different options: entrance, emphasis, exit, and motion path. So if you are required to select and apply a motion path that you see here, you will just select it, and this is basically what is gonna happen. Sometimes you might not see it immediately for what is required on your exam. You will just click on more motion path and you will have a wide range of options. Okay. Very good. And lastly, how to reorder animation using the animation pane. So what happened is that, okay, we talked about the bullet point before, and another example can be, for example, here, the auto industry. Just a heads up, if you want to check how your presentation is putting together and if you want to review how it's going to be presented, how it's going to be showed to the public, you can go on slideshow and you can select from beginning and moving from one slide to another. And as you can see, remember, the first slide, there's no transition in between, but since we did apply a transition from this slide till this, from the 5th slide till the 7th, you can see how the wipe transition has been applied. So it's always good that after you made any kind of change, any kind of adjustment, always go on slideshow and see if the change that you wanted to apply has been actually applied to the presentation. And coming back to the last exercise, which is basically being able to deal with the order of the animation, because as we can see here on slide 6, and if any slide has a specific animation, you can play it going on preview. So on slide 6, this bulleted point, this bullet text has an animation, a fly-in animation, which basically, with this specific order, with Rise of Boutique comes first, Smart Room Technology comes second, and Focus on Sustainability that comes third. What if we want to change? You might be asked to change the order because you might want Smart Room Technology come first and Rise of Boutique Hotels come second. So you go, of course, you click on the text box and then on animation pane on the top. And basically here is where you can play around with the with the order of the animation. And just a heads up, make sure if you want to have this a sequence, so not having all the bullet point comes all together, but having a first, a second, a third, make sure that you are on you selected start on click, because that gives the sequential order. And in here, if you want to change it, you will just take and drag it. So as you can see here now, Rise of Boutique comes second and Smart Room Technology comes first. And if I go on preview, that will be the order that we are gonna in the bullet point will be displayed. So every time that you need to basically change something to the animation, always be mindful and be comfortable using the animation pen, because from here you can basically control everything. Okay, and that was pretty much it. This chapter was pretty straightforward, and you won't be required to play excessively with animation or transition in the exam. If any, it will be very easy and straightforward.